Hi everybody, I'm Cincinnati-based illustrator John McCoy. Thanks for watching. This footage you're watching right now is a failed attempt at doing some direct observation painting of watercolor of the Cincinnati streets. This is third option. I went to DeVue Park afterwards. The wind blew down my easel is what happened. I went to DeVue Park and it wasn't much different. And it was also getting chilly outside, so I decided to ask the Bowtie Cafe if it'd be okay if I came in and did a little watercolor study of their cafe. And I love the cafe. It's super cozy and charming, and it has like a really nice vibe to it. So I set up this little easel stand I had built yesterday. Again, no James Gurney stand. He's got a really sweet watercolor stand. But for now, this one will do as I start to break more into these direct observation and public drawings / paintings. So for this one, you can see laid out a nice perspective drawing, and then I'm using watercolor to just kind of, being that it's my first time and I'm learning, well, not my first time, but one of the first times I've done a watercolor and from direct observation in a public environment, in a restaurant. Just kind of like putting down things that are true, making true statements. I'm like, well, I see this should go in there, this should go in there. Kind of working my way around the composition, figuring things out. Learned a lot about the way light interacts in a space. For one, the reflection on the left of the windows in the glass-covered picture, you can see lines up with a slight curve, lines up just about identically horizontally with those windows. And it's something I actually realized after the fact, but I'm like, well, I'm learning a lot about those kind of subtle things. And the more I learn about those type things, those structural things, and how light generally behaves, the more I know and can predict its consistency, the better I will be equipped to work more efficiently. I have the talents, but one successful artist, he was talking about how he kind of was good at things, but once he learned perspective and all that stuff, which I know quite a bit of, but his point is that once you learn kind of like the trends in realism, like what's actually happening, what you're going to see reoccurring in environments and how light behaves, the more you know that, the better equipped you are to render it more knowingly and therefore more confidently, and it will guide the placement of things. For example, with that window reflected in the painting, or whatever it is, the picture on the wall to the left, if I knew in the beginning, if I recognized, I probably would know it if somebody had told me, but if I had recognized on my own that was a reflection of the window and I kind of made that connection, then it would guide me as far as where to vertically place that line. Now, I arrived at the same thing just by judging it in proportion based off of what's around it, but when you understand it holistically and from more of a realistic, like, well, this is why this is that way, this is why it's reflected, then it'll be a quicker and more sure guide as to where to place something. So now you see I'm adding a China marker, or China crayon. It's white, and then I'm also tried some inks, but the inks weren't behaving with the texture of the watercolor paper with that crow quill, and I figured I felt like colored pencils would work better, and they did, because colored pencils, they have a waxy finish, and they actually, with the lighter colors, can cut through and lighten values which are laid down with the watercolor, which is pretty cool. I like that fact, or that feature of that media interaction. This one I'm working with the colored pencils, and I'm enhancing the sense of light by understanding where things need to be darker and where things need to be lighter. Another thing that the pencils do is they have such a fine point compared to the brushwork. The brushwork's nice because it does not grab the texture of the paper. I'm not so sure. I like the results, but I'm not so sure if I would always want that textural of a quality to come through as a result of the colored pencils scraping across the textured surface of the watercolor pad. It looks nice, but that's a difference. But one of the nice things, I keep going on tangents. One of the nice things about the colored pencils is the fine points. So you can bring in some detail. I saved drawing some of the people in the scene and the setting till later. Yeah, very charming environment. They had good coffee, and I really enjoyed. They had some nice jazz music and some nice music playing, and it was a really kind of, the lighting was nice and calm, and the environment was clean, cozy, charming. Nice place to sip a good warm coffee and or hot coffee. It was hot when it started. Warm's not bad. And to study for a long period of time. Mount Adams is also a really nice place, and if I was going to go urban sketching there, it's one of the places I would like to go in the Cincinnati area. Well, that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the process. Please hit that subscribe button, share this with family and friends, and God bless you guys.